All right, let's talk about something that hits close to home for, well, pretty much everyone: procrastination. It's that one thing we all struggle with, right? So today, we're going to dive deep and figure out how to actually, finally, get things done. Ah, yes, that little voice. You know the one. The one that whispers that promise you make to yourself, even when you know, deep down, you're probably not going to keep it. Yeah, I thought so. We've all been there. It's this universal thing, right? But the good news is, today we're going to pull it apart, see how it works, and build a real solid strategy to fight back. It sounds so innocent, doesn't it? I'll do it later. But it's actually a really sneaky trap. It's like this little loop that just keeps running. Later turns into tomorrow, and before you know it, tomorrow is next week, and you still haven't even started. Okay, so here's the most important part. Before we can even think about beating procrastination, we have to understand what it really is. And I'm telling you, it's almost certainly not what you think it is. We've got to unmask the real villain here. Listen, if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. Procrastination is not a character flaw. It's not because you're lazy or undisciplined. Thinking that way just piles on the guilt, right? But what if I told you it's just an emotional response? Because when you see it that way, suddenly it's not some big moral failing. It's just a problem you can solve. So this is the big mind shift right here. We're all taught the myth: procrastination equals laziness. End of story. But the truth? It's all about feelings. We're not avoiding the task itself. We're trying to avoid the negative feelings that come with it. You know, that feeling of dread, or boredom, or anxiety, or maybe that little voice of self-doubt. So, what are these hidden feelings we're talking about? Well, for a lot of us, it's a straight-up fear of failure. Or maybe it's just looking at a giant project and feeling totally overwhelmed, like, where do I even start? And then there's perfectionism, that little voice that says don't start until everything is perfect. Figuring out which one is your trigger, that is the absolute key to unlocking this whole thing. Okay, so if one of the biggest villains is that feeling of being completely overwhelmed, our first tool is designed to fight that exact feeling. It's all about making those giant, scary tasks feel small and manageable. And it's so simple, it's almost genius. We're talking about the task slicing technique. Instead of staring up at this huge mountain of a project, like, oh my God, I have to write a 20-page report, you just shrink your focus. Your only goal becomes write one single page. That's it, just one. All of a sudden, that feeling of being overwhelmed, it just kind of melts away, doesn't it? And the psychology behind this is so cool. See, every time you complete one of those tiny pieces, your brain gets a little hit of dopamine. It's a small win. It feels good. And that feeling of accomplishment starts to replace the dread you were feeling before. It's like you're tricking your brain into wanting to continue. You're building momentum, just one little victory at a time. All right, so task slicing handles the size of the project, the what. But what about just getting started in the first place? That dread of sitting down to do the work. Well, for that, we're going to use time itself as our secret weapon. It's called the Pomodoro technique. And yep, it's literally named after the tomato-shaped kitchen timer its inventor used. It's super famous for one simple reason. It just works. The whole idea is you stop thinking about working for hours, and instead, you work in these short, focused little sprints. Check this out. All you have to do is commit to 25 minutes. That's it. For 25 minutes, you give one task your pure, uninterrupted focus. No phone, no email, nothing. The commitment is so small that it completely bypasses that initial anxiety. I mean, anyone can do 25 minutes, right? And then, when that timer goes off, you stop, and you get a 5-minute break. And this part is absolutely crucial. That break isn't wasted time, it's your reward. It's how you recharge and get ready for the next round. It turns work from a long, painful marathon into a series of fun, winnable sprints. So we've got a strategy for task size and a strategy for time. Now let's talk about the foundation that holds it all together. Think of these last 3 things as the pillars of productivity that will support you day in and day out. Okay, let's break down these pillars. First up, mindset. You have to let go of perfectionism. Just start, even if it's messy. An imperfect start is 1,000,000 times better than a perfect plan that never happens. Second, motivation. You've got to reward yourself for those small wins we talked about. Give yourself that little treat. It creates this positive feedback loop that makes you want to keep going. And finally, environment. This is a big one. You have to set yourself up for success. That means getting rid of distractions before you even start. Curate your space so it's built for focus. And just like that, you've got a whole toolkit. See? Procrastination isn't this giant, unbeatable monster anymore. Now, it's just a problem with a set of really practical, powerful solutions you can use whenever you need them. Seriously, I want this to sink in. This whole thing isn't about willpower or wishing you were a more disciplined person. It's just about having the right tools to manage the feelings that are getting in your way. You absolutely have the power to make a real change, starting right now. So, let's do a quick lightning round recap of your new toolkit. Number 1, unmask the real reason you're procrastinating. 2, slice those giant tasks into tiny, bite-sized pieces. 3, use the 25-minute focus trick to make starting a breeze. 4, reward your progress. 5, let go of perfect and aim for good enough. And 6, set up your environment to help you win. Look, this isn't some magic wand that fixes everything overnight. It's about taking these tools and using them one small step at a time. And slowly but surely, you'll start to feel that sense of control come back over your time, your work, and your life. So I'm going to leave you with one final question. Not for later, not for tomorrow, for right now. What is one tiny, super small step you're going to take today using one of these tools? Because all the power you need is right there in that very first step.